Wow, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Arrow After Show here at theStream.tv. Holy moly. First, before we get started, quick little shout out to MLCity.net and Kamikaze. We love you guys with us all year long. I mean, what?
Yeah,
what?
all season.
You guys are the best.
So, holy moly, enter Constantine. Here to talk about that, we've got our Linda Antwi,
Hi.
Olivia De Bortoli.
Olivia.
Carolina Bonetti and Olivia De
Bonetti.
Bortoli.
It's
Oh my
Olivia,
God, I'm
it's
so.
okay. Hello.
You know what?
He's so excited. He
My
can't
brain's
talk
fried.
anymore.
Yeah, I can't even figure it out. I'm Adam Kruger, guys. What's up? Welcome. Thanks for coming and joining us. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to screw
That's
that
okay.
up.
It's okay.
See, that's what you do when you throw in last names at the last minute. You're like, I could do this. No, I
He's
cannot.
like, I'm gonna try. And I was like, I don't know if you should, but okay.
Okay, so we got to get to Constantine here. So he's here, and we've all been wondering like how Oliver's gonna know about Constantine and how they know each other, and it obviously they brought it in flashbacks. So let's talk about how it starts. So Oliver's on the island with the dude who suspects him with the beard. He wants to kill him. We have a kinship, although that's where it ends. I'm not evil. And he finds no, not evil. I promise, I swear, I'm a good person. So he finds the backpack and he brings Oliver to the dude, right? And the head guy. And what happens? Where do we go from there?
Constantine arrives. I was super excited about just seeing his face, and I was really wondering how they tied into each other and how, the Green Arrow was going to be connected.
And so, obviously, I forget the name of the guy who's beating up Constantine, but Oliver's in there and he's getting the crap kicked out of him, Constantine, and he's cuffed and they're about to do stuff, and he uses magic for the first time on Arrow, which is amazing. And what do we feel about that? That he gets out of the cuffs and talk to us. Tell me something.
I mean, I thought it was really cool. I love seeing all the magic and mysticism being brought into Arrow this year. It's been a lot of fun. I like seeing the metahumans on there. So getting to see Constantine. Actually, to be honest, I never watched Constantine, but after seeing this, it makes me want to go back and watch the episode and think, what happened, CW? Why isn't this show on the air? Like, I'm stoked. I'm going to go back and watch Constantine now because I want to know what happens in that show because I was so into the character, and Maddie, this actor, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was on fire.
I thought it was super cool that they brought in all the magic. Like, I was like, Arrow doesn't have enough magic, and now they brought it, and it's fantastic.
And in addition to that, they even added in all that Egyptian mysticism with like the staff of Ra,
Yes.
right? That was cool.
The Orb
Yes.
of Horus.
Orb of Horus.
Orb
There we
of
go.
Horus.
The bottom-
Yes, also Egyptian.
Right, with the bottom part is the Staff of Ra.
Right.
So it's like there's lots of different components, and I just thought it was amazing to see
Our resident Egyptologist.
Dropping knowledge over there.
So Constantine uses magic to escape, and then he takes Oliver, which, I mean, I don't know. I was sitting there thinking that maybe Oliver was going to save him somehow in that moment, but I was kind of taken by surprise when Constantine breaks out like a total badass, which he is throughout the entire episode, and I, like you, want to go back and watch that whole series, but that aside, he basically kidnaps Oliver. So let's talk about that. He takes him. Where does he take? He takes him
To this creepy cave,
Right?
and he basically is like, come to Wonderland with me.
But that's when he first explains the magic, and he actually does
Yeah.
actual magic, and Oliver's like mystified.
I just thought it was, I mean, first of all, where did that cave come from? It was in like immaculate shape for being, I don't know how long on that island.
Well, I mean, Constantine does tell Oliver, he's like, there's a lot more
Yeah.
going on this island than just drugs. So it makes me excited to see what is on that island. Is it housing metahumans?
Yeah.
Like, what's in there? Now it's
True.
really like up the ante on the mysterious
island.
factor of this island.
Yeah, which we always knew there was some crazy stuff going on the island, and I think now they're going to really bring in some interesting elements to it, which is going to be really cool to see. So I want to kind of just get through the whole Constantine and Oliver knowing each other situation so that we can get into what actually happened in this episode, which was, it drove me nuts. I loved it. But so let's go with, so basically, Oliver saves Constantine when he's trying to get the Orb of Horus out of the thing. He saves his life. So that's how we know that Constantine owes Oliver.
Right.
And then he gives him a little parting gift on the island. He warns him about the island, offers to take him away, and we see Oliver's hero side come out.
Yes.
Yes.
What was that tattoo?
So the tattoo is going to be really, really important. So I read that the EP, this episode, first of all, it was a last-minute decision. They were going to deal with this tattoo that he has here a few seasons ago when he was in Hong Kong. Do you guys remember when there was one in Hong Kong? So they didn't do that, but they needed to address it. And so they addressed it now. And it was a last-minute addition by the writer here, the writer of this episode. And apparently, this tattoo is going to have huge significance this season, like huge. So
I bet.
we saw a really important moment
Do you guys?
That's exciting.
Do you guys think that maybe he's going to use like the tattoo is going to help him with Damian Darhk in some capacity?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Constantine told him, you're gonna know when you're gonna need to use this.
That's right.
This tattoo. You're gonna know it. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm excited to see when he uses it.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because when he did do the like, I thought he was going to use it on the island. Like, I thought it was like, sometime on the island he's going to need the tattoo, but I guess it's going to probably play out this season. And then, of course, after he gets the tattoo, I'm going to need you to hit me. He knocks him out, and then now we know how they know each other. Yeah. So let's talk about saving Sara. This is like the crux of the whole episode, okay? She comes back and she's vicious. Let's talk about that opening scene real quick. What did you guys think about her, like, just destroying those dudes?
Feral Sara.
Yeah.
She was like invincible.
Yeah.
Like she could just kill anybody, fight anybody, jump out windows, and she was invincible. Like that's what we're calling her, Feral Sara.
That was great. How could she jump out of so many windows and like hit so many things? And she was like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. No big deal. I was like, what?
My question is, now that she gets her soul back, does she get to keep that like super glass jumping ability? Not a scratch on her. She's like, I am made of stone. I go through everything. I am Wolverine.
Yeah. I
She literally did. She jumped out of like the hospital window,
Yeah.
which was insane. So
She like rolled out of it. It was like a combat roll out of that
I
thing.
mean, she should have at least
It was
been
kind of
bruised or
amazing.
something. But it was so yes, obviously she's insane. And then they finally find her with Laurel. Remember when they were outside the club and she's attacking everybody that looks like Thea, because we obviously know the bloodlust has got her trying to kill anything that looks like Thea. And then they find her with Laurel, and the look on Oliver's face. I mean, let's talk about that real quick.
Just utter disappointment and shock and just like, people lied to me again. What is going on? I mean, I feel for him though. They lied to him again.
But here we go. I'm actually going to defend Laurel. Believe it or not, I never defend Laurel, but Oliver got what was coming for him. How many times has he underestimated Laurel, left her out of the loop, not told her anything? And here, to be fair to Laurel's character, like, she's had a lot thrown on her plate, and he got what was coming for him. That's how it feels, Oliver, to be left out of the loop.
Yeah, and he knows it. If you notice, I mean, I know we're skipping ahead to the end, but they do make up in the end, and they have that kind of conversation where, they take care of it. He's really turning a new leaf, Oliver. Like, he totally forgives her in the end about it. But I love the scene where they kind of have it out in the lair, and he has it out with Laurel and Thea about, so what, this was where your spa was in Nanda Parbat? And she's like, well, it was the only thing that was available. So, I still like, through all the insanity, they're still keeping their sense of humor this season, which is a lot of fun to see. So let's talk about the attack on Thea, where she finally comes in and basically beats the living daylights out of her in the apartment.
Yeah.
I thought it was an amazing fight scene. I'm big on fight scenes, and I thought that the Sara-Thea fight scene was incredible. Like, just, I want to be doing some of this, like, crazy kicks.
Yeah.
And I just thought that the feral Sara just continued in this season, or this episode, where you saw that she was uncontrollable. Right? There's no soul there. She just was feeding on that frenzy, and she wasn't going to stop until she killed Thea.
I kind of felt like the fight was one-sided. What did you guys think?
You're very one-sided.
I mean,
She was
Thea
like,
basically got her ass handed to her. You know what I
Thea
mean?
was crawling for her life towards the end.
But she did have a good move of the kicking the door open and having,
that was
I
good.
was like,
That's how she
go,
got away.
Smart.
Thea, you're my favorite and I love you.
Yeah.
Good job.
So she barely escapes with her life, and I like the scene where Laurel shows up at the hospital and Oliver rips into her, and she basically pushes back, and that's the scene where I felt that Laurel got humanized again, because throughout this little story arc, she's been kind of, I want to say, like, you're just looking at her going, like, what the hell are you doing? I get it, save your family, whatever. She's been dead a year already, like, move on. And obviously, like, they did it, and it came out in a weird way, but I felt like when she pushed back, that you kind of were like, okay, she gets it. She's upset about the things that are going on. She's taking responsibility for her actions. That's what did it for me. She became human again to me.
What did it for me was that she said that, we're not equal. Why do I have to tell you everything when nobody tells me anything? Everybody keeps her out of the loop. And when she was giving that, speech, I was like, you know what, you're right. Nobody tells her anything ever. And I felt bad for her.
And why is it okay to save Thea and not to save Sara?
Exactly.
Right? So you took your sister to the Lazarus pit. You didn't tell me, you didn't put me in the loop. And now you're trying to shame me for doing the same thing that you did for your sister.
And this episode was so well written, though. Like, kudos to the writers, because they addressed all of those points. You know, Laurel had her moment with Oliver. Laurel had her moment with Thea, where Thea was like, I killed your sister. I understand what she's going through. This is the bloodlust coming out. And Thea stood up and said, or not Thea, sorry, Laurel stood up and said to Thea, like, it's not a win situation. If to get my sister back, you have to die.
Yep.
It was great. And even Thea and Sara, when she was feral and psycho, had that moment where she was like, you know what, kill me. I understand. I deserve it. And they had that. They had everything. The writers, good job, guys.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
really
with
good
you
job.
on that. There was a lot of ownership of
Yeah.
responsibility in this episode, and I was going to actually touch on that next, which was I felt was a defining moment for Laurel when Thea basically was like, listen, you know, I'm okay with it. Like, she should kill me because I want. And Laurel was like, no, because you dying does not make it okay. And I'm like, okay, cool. At least she's not like taking her up on the offer.
Yeah.
Because I half expected her to, you know.
Yeah.
And then she didn't, and so that kind of redeemed Laurel for me. I felt like this was a good episode for her. I think there's a lot of people out there who are going to hate her no matter what, and sorry guys if you do, but I thought Laurel came out on top in this episode. That's my personal opinion.
Same.
Absolutely agree. And I think she needed that. I think that as fans, I needed to see something more, right? I needed to
agree.
see it all make sense, and I think they did a great job.
Yeah.
So then, of course, they use Thea as bait to capture Sara, and that worked out great.
She broke through another window yet
Right.
again.
Her window breaking continued.
Yeah.
So I think my theory, and I could be wrong, but my theory is, so when people go in the Lazarus pit, as we all know, their souls are all connected, and I think that that's why they could sense each other, and that's why Sara could find Thea
Yeah.
That makes
so
sense.
easily. So I think using her as the bait, and it was just genius. It's just all tying in together. So I'm loving how the season is tying every little piece together.
Yeah.
That's just my little small theory.
And so she gets tranked. Oliver shoots her with the tranquilizer. I have to bring up something real quick though, because when Sara comes in, she literally just beats the crap out of everybody.
Yeah.
Now, I've noticed that Oliver's been getting his ass handed to him a lot in this season, and I think it's because he's adjusting to not using lethal force right away. And I think it's going to be interesting to see that develop and see him become a better fighter and put people down without actually, you know, mortally wounding them.
Or killing them.
Well, yes. And so of course, he tranks her, and then they capture her, and that's when we bring in Constantine, who is amazing. Can we talk about him for a minute, please,
Yes.
on the show? His performance, everything. Let's discuss.
I thought he was like a badass. I loved how his use of the gun back in the island scene. And then I loved when he first showed up in the lair. He pulled out his card, his like business card. It was like John Constantine. I thought that was hilarious.
I think my favorite part was actually seeing how human Oliver was, even when he was in his really like big revenge, kick everyone's ass phase. Like, that was awesome to see him save Constantine's life and be like, I'm a good guy too. That was a really big thing to see, because if you think back when the show first started, he was all about lethal force and like take no prisoners, like punch first, ask questions later. So to see him save someone's life, even when he was undergoing all that training and becoming that hard Arrow before he softened up into Green Arrow, cool to see. I liked seeing that part.
I did too.
My favorite part, again, was the fight scene, because, you know, I'm liking the fight scene. So when he was saying, like, all of that stuff and the magic, and then he, like, blew, and then that guy he was fighting floated in the air, and
Yes.
then he just stabbed him. Oh, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was intense. So obviously he goes down into the underworld with Laurel and Oliver to save Sarah's soul, and that was a beautiful scene. I love that also. That was pretty intense.
That with the backdrop of the Lazarus pit. It was
Yeah.
just genius.
I
Loved
mean,
it.
the whole time I'm like, Constantine's a badass. That's all I could think throughout the whole thing. And I'm like, that was when I decided right there. I'm like, I have to go check out the NBC show, and I have to watch all 13 episodes,
Yeah.
and then get
Yep.
really upset when I don't get to watch a 14th, because you know.
The 14th was this one.
This was
Yeah,
yeah.
there
This,
we go.
14th
yeah,
Constantine.
I wonder how if you're out there, if you're fans of Constantine originally, and you've been watching the show and following it, I want to know what your perspective is. Like, tell us, tweet at us using the hashtag #ArrowAfterShow, or you could even go to the live YouTube chat right now and write in. I know that we all have it on our phones. We're gonna check it, but I want to know, like, did it stack up? Did Constantine's appearance on Arrow stack up to what you guys were hoping for? I know for us, avid Arrow fans, I don't know much about Constantine, but I do want to go back and find out now. You know, I know that for me that was brilliant,
Yeah.
and we loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to go back and watch Constantine. And what I love about media today is that nothing really dies anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the mini project went off air, and now it's on Hulu. So, hey, you know what? Maybe this will bring back Constantine.
That would be brilliant.
Maybe he'll come back to Arrow.
Ooh.
You know
Later
what?
on in
I
the
know
EPs
that
did say they left it open-ended,
Yeah.
so you never
It
know,
could
he
happen.
could come back.
Yep.
I'm a fan. I would love to see that happen. One last thing I want to talk about is Constantine's warning about Damian Darhk, and it's really deep.
Yeah.
I think it takes out any questions as to who killed whoever's in the grave. It's for sure Damian Darhk who
For
did it.
sure.
There's no question in my mind now. And I also read somewhere that we're not going to find out until the end of the season. It's going to sort of start to play out in the mid-season finale, and then we're not going to find out until the end of the season. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. But Damian Darhk is a badass, and you know what? It's going to get real this season, guys. I think that's where.
it.
Yeah. So okay, we got to talk real quickly about our unexpected alliance. Before we do, though, I just want to remind you guys, join the conversation. Again, #ArrowAfterShow. Tweet at us. We're going to check it out. And actually, we're going to be doing some Twitter shout-outs and some YouTube shout-outs later. So you could be featured on the show, which would be pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll answer questions. If you guys have theories, comments, questions, let us know, because we'll get at those.
Because I read them while we're talking here. Every time I'm looking down, I'm reading your live chat. So if you guys have questions, at me at it. I'll know that you're asking me. Or if you're chatting about it, I'm reading all of this. And to save Flame Crew, I don't know why Constantine got canceled.
And also, Cullen Prime said, I watched the Constantine series, and hell yeah, he was good in this episode. Yeah, we
Awesome.
agree.
Yeah.
Good. That's nice to see. Okay, cool. So let's just talk about real quick, back to Arrow real quick, the Lances and Diggle. So this was like a whole big kind of thing where Diggle and Quentin kind of, teamed up. But what brought them to that, Laurel has it out with her dad over Sara, and he's kind of feeling guilty that he didn't pull the trigger because now people are dying. How do we feel about that? That's got to be crazy for a dad to be like, damn, I should have killed my kid.
Yeah.
That's messed up, right?
He felt bad about it, but then towards the end of the episode, Laurel was like, we should just end her. We should have shot her. So it kind of did a whole 360 and went back around.
And it becomes Oliver who saves the day in the end,
Exactly.
and by bringing in Constantine.
I loved that moment where he looked at Laurel and he was like, do you trust me?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
how big was that, putting his hand out there and being like, do you trust me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, brilliant writing. I thought it was great. So of course we have Damian Darhk asking Quentin Lance for a favor, as he does, and Quentin comes back to the Batcave, the Arrow Cave, the lair, and I don't know why I called it a Batcave, but so he comes back and they analyze it and they find out that it's like this crazy virus thing, and then that's when he teams up with Diggle. So let's talk about that alliance real quick.
Well, they found that Diggle's brother was, one of the names that they were trying to erase on the computer, which, I don't know. Now he's some bad drug lord or evil warlord. That's why he got killed.
But that's also information coming from Damian Darhk, and I believe everything Damian Darhk says with like about a grain of salt.
Right.
So I don't know if that's true. Maybe he's trying to erase it because he's got the brother working for him,
Yeah.
for Hive. Maybe that's going to be the disturbing news that we see, or maybe he really did kill him, and we're going to see him in flashbacks. But
or he's gonna come back.
I think it would be a big surprise if he's.
Okay,
It
could also be that he's threatening to kill Diggle's brother, and that's why he's in cahoots. Anyways, so the dirty Diggle truth comes out, or does it? We don't know. It remains to be seen. Talking about real quick, Alive and in Trouble. I just want to gloss over this real quick. We now know that Ray is alive and small, and everyone was right on this one because he's both small and captured by Damian Darhk. We know, which was crazy cool. So Curtis Holt finally figured it all out and helped them kind of get through that. So that was...
What a great wrap to this episode. And I think that just knowing that we were all right.
Yes.
And Damian has his hands in everything. That's what we have to remember moving forward in this season, that his hands are in everything and nothing is as it seems. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, he's all over the map. There was a really great moment between Oliver and Felicity, an Olicity moment, where they're talking about loss, and she tells, I know you're such a, she's our Olicity shipper.
I love that.
I've never even heard that term before I started doing this show, and now I just used it in a sentence. So so they have that moment where they're talking about loss, and then they finally figure out that Sarah's after Thea because of that. That was a really cool moment. That we'll just kind of. I'm going to drop it out there and go, okay, cool, we saw it, we felt it.
We did.
So Green Mayor, #Green Mayor, Oliver's campaign. So let's very quickly just say that it was nice to see Oliver refuse to distance himself from his friends.
Yes.
And I'm curious to see how that's going to go. I think he's going to get his company back that way. You were talking about that when we were watching it.
Well, yeah, because in the comics, I don't know if you guys knew this, if this is your first week tuning in. Hi, my dad used to draw for DC Comics. But in the comics, Oliver does become mayor, and then he eventually gets back his company because it puts him in a seat of power, and he kind of grows up a lot, and he gets his company back, and he starts running it as badass Oliver Queen, which is cool to see. So I would love to see him do that storyline and play that out in the series. Why not do it on TV? It'd be amazing to see. And he's definitely a mayor that the villains can't kill.
Yes,
true.
yeah.
So they
because
wouldn't have to worry about him having a death warrant on him, because he
he's-
always has a death warrant, and he's impossible to kill.
He's trained. He's a trained assassin. Okay, guys. So right now we're gonna take a quick break in just a second. But while we're doing that, again, tweet at us using #ArrowAfterShow. We're gonna do some Twitter shoutouts. We're gonna do some live chat stuff. So ask the questions because let's discuss. We'll be right back with all those. See you in a minute. Live.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it. That was freaking oh
I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
I was like,
Kill him. Kill him. Definitely kill him. We're cool.
shade. Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way in the right way.
But you were like, well, we want to know what's gonna happen.
That was cute.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world. and we
Another
appreciate
beautiful
you so
summer
much.
at theStream.tv, y'all.
Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
All right, we're back with some Twitter shoutouts. Let's do some Twitter shoutouts with
All right,
Olivia.
so-
Olivia's got them live, right?
Live here, yeah. So I have one from MDS Lisa, and she says, "You know you're in trouble when even Constantine is afraid of Damian Darhk."
Ooh, that's a good point.
So
Yes.
true.
I-
So his last word saying, leave town. I mean, that's his town. Star City is his town. So him saying leave town, that's huge.
Just like you don't want to mess with him. I have another one from Burning Firebird. He or she wrote, "I'm just glad the latest person." I'm just glad the latest person from Oliver's past isn't another gorgeous woman, end quote. Felicity killing it in this episode. I agree. I thought she was hilarious. All her little quirks in this episode were really great. So that's all I have.
And then the Overlord. There was
I have a good YouTube.
Carolina's got the live YouTube chat right now, so let's talk about those.
Yes,
Let's do
so
some
I've
shout
got
outs.
YT channel, and he says, wasn't Dr. Fate teased on Constantine? I didn't watch it, but I did see on the YouTube chat people were talking about Zartana and Dr. Fate, and those would be incredible additions to Arrow because they're both magicians and they're very mystical, and with everything that's going on with Damian Darhk, it would be phenomenal to see them come in and help the Arrow team take them down. So.
That's amazing. I got distracted because Linda's got a live tweet right now that from
Marc
Take
Pope.
it away. Yeah, Marc.
So
Pope.
Marc Pope has been tweeting us all week. So hi, Marc.
What's up, Marc?
So
Hey,
he wants
Marc.
to know if Damian Darhk learns Oliver's secret.
Would that
Oh,
just
a good
destroy?
question,
That would
Marc.
blow up
Wouldn't
everything.
surprise me.
Well, that
because
could
he's
tie
got
in.
his hand in like every honeypot, so that I feel like you kind of have to see that coming in a way. Like it should be at
Yeah.
the bottom of your stomach, that pit that makes you nervous and
Yeah.
gives you butterflies, and you're like, please don't let it happen. But then it happens because it's Damian Darhk.
It's coming.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
I think so too. I think
think
that's
it
going
has to
tie
happen.
into how we end up with a grave at the end of the
Yeah.
season. It's definitely at the hands of Darhk, and so Marc
Good
Darhk,
question, Marc.
Marc Pope, great question. Yeah, I think he's going to find out. I think it's just a matter of time. We have. Do we have any more live YouTube chat questions?
Everyone's blowing up about Dr. Fate being in Constantine. Apparently, the helmet was in it. So was the Hand of Fate in the pilot episode. And maybe them bringing on Constantine is actually foreshadowing for Dr. Fate and Zartana. How cool would that be? I want to know what your thoughts are on that. You guys tell me. I'm reading.
Let us know. Cool. Guys, just a quick couple of shout outs to Alma Diaz, who's blowing up the live chat here, and also Sturgeon. because the helmet was seen in Constantine is what he's talking about or she's talking about. So just a quick couple of YouTube shout outs. Guys, tweet at us all week long using that hashtag #ArrowAfterShow. Hit us up. Give us your theories. We want to know. Also, if you feel so inclined and you want to take some photos in Arrow gear, if you want to hood up and throw those at us, we'll feature them on the show just for fun. We've got Thanksgiving coming up, so we'll be thankful for your fan fiction stuff. Give us your theories. Let us know. And until then, guys, we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.